Hi, everybody. Sam Kavares for the Gate Sports Update. Don't forget, if the Jaguars do win on Sunday, Monday, you can go to your Gate store for a 20-ounce Pepsi for 94 cents. That's coming up. If the Jaguars beat Oakland, beat the Raiders, it's kind of an interesting matchup. The Jaguars have certainly underperformed, and the Raiders have been kind of sometimes a surprise and sometimes terrible. But maybe the most important thing about this game is it's the final one at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, which is a pretty storied venue. Terrible place, by the way, to watch, to play. They played the last game with the dirt infield there. They'll play their last game there as they move to Las Vegas. What are their fans going to do? The ones in the black hole who have prided themselves on being so tough and being that kind of home field advantage. Well, I don't know if they'll rip the seats out or storm the field or what, but it'll be interesting to see. If I were the Jaguars, two things: leave the field immediately, and two, leave your helmet on. That's an important thing for players. They don't realize that when you're in a hostile environment and you're leaving, if you have your helmet on, they usually won't throw stuff at you. But if you take your helmet off, you are a absolute target. So if you happen to see this or you run into one of the guys, tell them to do that. Jaguars have to do several things well in order to win this game, because remember, they're 2-12 on the West Coast. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? It's only a 3-hour time zone difference. It's not that big of a deal. Don't make a big deal about it. Go out there, play the game, come home. It's not that big of a deal. So the Jaguars are already out there, but if they come home, it'll be reminiscent of what they did when the team started. I remember in the late 90s where it was, it was no big deal. They'd go out, they'd beat teams, and they'd come back. But, now that the Rams are back there and the Chargers obviously still in California and the Raiders and the 49ers, the Jaguars are going to have to deal with this kind of change, time zone change on a regular basis, and they're going to have to do that coming up Sunday against the Raiders. 4:05 start here in town. Have you been watching the President's Cup? I've really enjoyed it. Maybe because it's on all the time. Maybe that's it. But I've really enjoyed the format. It's a little different than the Ryder Cup. It's longer. It's a day longer. They have another match. Tiger has played well and then took himself out in that third day of competition, although the United States, as we recorded this, was 2 points down going into the singles. Kind of a funny week, the whole Patrick Reed thing. You had to pick Patrick Reed. He was the best player in the world at that point, playing as good as anybody. And then, he played with Webb Simpson, who might be the nicest guy ever on tour. And they went 0-3 as a team in the first couple of days. So it'll be interesting to see if the U.S. can pull this off, but certainly I've enjoyed watching that. And boy, doesn't Royal Melbourne just look like a phenomenal golf course. At just over 7,000 yards, it shows you don't need length in order to challenge these guys. Good, solid design on every shot. Alistair McKenzie, obviously, but just a fun golf course to watch them play. And wouldn't you like to step on the first tee there and have that opportunity at some point in what they call the Sand Belt, I think, in Australia, down there in Melbourne. Hope you enjoy the Jaguar game on Sunday, and certainly the golf on Sunday as well. We're back to having some beautiful weather here, at least for the short term. By the way, yes, I know that my pool has some leaves in it, and I'll get my pool boy, that would be me, to get working on that when the weather's not so nice. Let's put it that way. Don't forget, your Gate stores are clean, bright, always 2 people in there, very solid gas, owned and operated and founded by local people. Really a solid spot. Stop by your Gate store today for all your convenience needs. And by the way, the food there, if you haven't had food at the Gate store here recently, and a lot of these other convenience stores have come to town and really promoted their food. Gate food stores, that fresh kitchen, they really got that going on these days. Stop into your local Gate store for everything that you need. For now, Sam Kavares and the Gate Sports Update.